do it like it's a weight on your shoulders, or you can do it like it's part of the dance.
Often, our perspective is just a biased depiction of our viewpoint that we haven't fully explored yet. If you really think about it, there are pretty much infinite perspectives that we can have on specific topics, specific things, specific situations. And one of the most powerful things you can do today in society, just generally in your life, is understanding and trying to identify new perspectives. Perspective is almost something that's just like, it's there. You don't really think about it. So to a certain degree, it's your subconscious, right? Whereas we want to consciously be trying to change our perspective on things. And what I mean by that is, we want to change our perspective to something that's going to benefit us, right? Exactly like the quote says, you can do it like it's a weight on your shoulders, or you can do it like it's part of the dance. Enjoy the stuff that you do, right? That alone is a perspective change. Instead of saying, I have to go to work, it's I get to go to work, right? I know that sounds really cliche, but it's true. It's the same way that truly everything bad can be viewed as something good, right? If you break your leg, now you're going to become the best person with a broken leg working in the gym, right? You're going to be the person who is the best with one leg. And just because you've broken your leg, you're only using that as motivation, right? If you do badly in a test, you don't have to see it as, I did badly, like, that's the end of the world kind of thing. No, use that as motivation, use that as a lesson to be like, you know what, no, how have I let myself fail a test? That's not who I am, or that's not who I'm going to be. I'm going to change that. I'm going to change that narrative. I'm going to change that. I'm going to use that as motivation to do even better next time, right? I know exactly now how it feels to fail in something, to not do so well as I wanted to. I'm going to use this feeling, this horrible feeling, as motivation to not ever feel it again, to get out of that, right? And I think being able to have that mental dialogue with yourself where you change your perspective on something, right, is so powerful. It is so powerful. I think you genuinely think about it, like genuinely, you realise that there are infinite perspectives that you can have. There's a story about a Chinese farmer, and it's about how his horse runs away, right? And everybody is saying, like, that's terrible. The farmer says, maybe, right? And then the next day, the horse returns, but it's coming with 3 other wild horses. And everybody in the village is, that's amazing, right? The farmer says, maybe. Like, his son, I think, tries to go on one of the wild horses and gets thrown off, breaks his leg. Everybody says, that's awful, it's terrible, he's broken his leg, terrible, right? And the farmer says, maybe. And then a week later, young men from the war are coming to recruit people, and they leave the farmer's son behind, right? He's got a broken leg. And all the neighbours are like, you're so lucky that you didn't have to go to war, right? The farmer says, maybe. Realise that when something bad does happen, you can always view it in a different way. And I think being able to do that is a habit that people should begin to adopt. And there is always a better perspective. There is always a better perspective than your current perspective. I'm not saying spend hours a day thinking about a better perspective. I'm just saying that you need to realise that there are other perspectives that you can have on things and on things in your life. Right? Perspective is everything. How you look at something another person considers about it. Take seasonal depression, right? People see that it's cloudy outside. People see that it's raining. Right, what about the person who looks at the rain and goes, that's actually you? Or they see the clouds and they think they get a vibe from the clouds. They're like, it's nice and cozy. Look at the other perspective and get into the habit of being able to identify that. Because once you can flip that dialogue with yourself, your depiction of a perspective or a viewpoint on a topic changes and it works more in your favour. And then it's a lot easier to convince yourself to do things, or to, in general, just see the world a different way that aligns more with what you want to